I'm Lori Wilson. I'm Assembly member for the 11th District, which includes all of Solano County, East Contra Costa County, and Sacramento. Really, my first memory of the Boys and Girls Club in Fresno was following my sister. She was coming, and we were coming either like to drop her off or I don't recall like the fullness because I was like such a little kid. I probably was like 4, maybe 5, and I couldn't go, but I could be there in that moment, and we left her. But I do remember a time when I got to go, when it was part of my experience to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and sometimes we were members, and sometimes I remember just going to like one-off events that they had, whether they're at the actual club or in the community. My mom was a single mom. She had all 4 of her children before she turned 21. So she was really young, and so she always looked for resources for us to be, safe places to be, where she didn't have to be present. So she could either work or just have, alone time. And so the Boys and Girls Club was one of those places where we get to go and hang out and have very fond memories of, having, and I would say friends loosely because they're friends in that moment. And when you're a kid, you get to make friends in the moment that you might not ever see any other time. And so I get to go hang out and do crafts and do really cool things. So it's very fond memory of, really getting exposed to it through my sister, but also getting to continue because it was a definite resource for my mother. I do remember, like, always there would be a kind face, and then and someone who always was cared and attentive. As you can imagine, growing up in a single household, that sometimes, it's really hard for your mom or your parent to give you full attention because they're, fixing dinner or washing clothes or doing those other things all by themselves. And so what I remember about going to the Boys and Girls Club is that there was someone there who could really pay attention to me. For me, the first driver is that I recall the Boys and Girls Club in Fresno being a place of safety, a place of refuge, a place where you can feel wanted and you got to do cool things and see cool people. And so anytime we can provide those type of environments for children, it's really important to me because it harkens back to my own childhood. And secondly, the desire and passion for this specific support to the Capital Campaign was really about the visit and going to see how much fun the children were having, how excited they were to be there, to see the different interpersonal relationships between them and the staff. It was really cool. When you see someone doing extremely great work in a facility that's not built for them, so to speak, that's not rising up to the challenge, you think about, it's easy in your mind's eye to think about, well, what could they be doing if they had a facility that rose to the challenge of all the work that they're doing? And so then it was an easy, yes, to let me see what I can do at a state level and what resources are available to be able to make that happen. Because if you could do that great of a work when the facility doesn't work for you, just imagine what you could do when it does. Just being in this safe and loving environment, learning and growing, and knowing that you have a place that's your own, that's different than your home or your school, is pretty amazing. And so I hope people will make that investment. When we think about the social ills of today, a lot of times we can be very reactive when we're thinking about laws we need to change, or, what is the police doing about this, or what are our leaders doing about, this, that, or the other. When we think about the fact that you can make this type of investment and be proactive and invest in a child's life, it will help with those issues later on. It's about shaping a healthy community. And how do we do that? How do we all play our part? Some people have time to give, some people have talents to give, but other people have resources. And so we have to think individually, am I going to give up my time? Am I going to give up talent, or am I going to give up my resources? And so I hope the people who say yes to giving up resources say yes to this type of investment.